last 7 months, I've taken a total of 2,000 trades. The most interesting part about all of it is I haven't actually taken the trades. I've used a software that executes on my behalf, taking multitudes of trades every single day, sometimes hundreds per week. And I want to show you exactly what has happened after 2,000 trades were made on my trading account. Now, enough rambling. Let's see the data of what this software has been able to do after taking 2,000 trades in 7 months. As you could see here in this advanced statistics chart, this shows us a lot of interesting data on its performance. And to the top left, we see here trades, and it's done a total of 2,154 trades. Just beneath that, we have profitability. And if I was to just click on this right here, you would see how many trades were won out of the 2,000 plus that were taken. So out of 2,154 trades, the account won 1,580 of the trades, which represents 73%. That means it's lost 574 trades out of the 2,100, which represents 27% of the trades that were taken. And just beneath profitability, we have pips. This is telling us how many pips were actually captured from 2,100 trades that were taken. And the number is 25,842 pips were won. The biggest win that this account has experienced from those trades that it's taken was a $500 gain, and its worst trade that it's ever made was $370 lost. Now that $500 trade that was our best was the equivalent of 1,800 pips, and the worst trade that lost us $370 was the equivalent to 4,521 pips, which is insane. And our average trade length, meaning how long this software takes a trade and leaves it open and manages it for you, is 4 days. The key word there is for you. The trades are managed by this software on your behalf. Yes, I have the ability to intervene, and I can close trades out, and I can even take trades if I want. But I notice the more that I interfere with things, the more I actually mess up what it would have done. And the odds are my human interference with the software will most likely only negatively impact the account's performance. One of the most important things to understand when you're looking at trading as a whole, not even softwares, but trading strategies or someone else's performance that you're looking at, is you want to know what their profit factor is. This is basically their risk to reward ratio. And anything above a 1 is typically what you want to see, because that means for every dollar lost, there's a dollar gained. And above a 1 means you're gaining more than you're losing. If I was to just click this over here, we have a 1.89 on our profit factor. Now, the appropriate definition for that is profit factor shows how many times gross profit, sum of all winning trades, exceeds the gross loss, sum of all losing trades. The higher the value, the better, of course. For example, if this profit factor said 5, that means for every dollar I lost, I gained 5. And if you're curious what account this is my Dalio bot. And in fact, this Dalio bot now has a gold algorithm attached to it, which means I'm running 2 softwares at the same time on a single brokerage account. Over the 7 months and over the 2,000 plus trades that were taken, how much did I actually gain? And the answer is this: 58% is the growth of this account. And the account was started with $9,954, which gives us a profit of $5,800. So I'm at the halfway mark of getting my initial investment back out. That is the number one thing I always seek to do whenever I make any type of financial decision. How long will it take me to recuperate my initial investment? And it looks like I'm on track to potentially be able to do that by this year. If the next 7 months play out how the last 7 months played out, then that puts me at over 100% on the account, which means I would hit my ROI in 14 months. But since it is 58% in 7 months, it'll probably do it in 12. My monthly average on this account is 4.99%. Now, the problem here is the monthly average is a bit skewed. Reason being is because when this account started, it didn't start trading for 2 months. So now it's generating this average based off of 2 months in which the account saw no activity, but the software was still on there. Just no trades were taken during that time. Jumping back to the chart, you could see my equity curve, and this is showing you everything that has gone on. As you can see, there has been several drawdowns with this account, and my max drawdown that I've experienced is 23.71%, and that was actually kind of recent. Right over here on March 5th was when I saw the drawdown. Currently, I'm still in another drawdown at the moment, but I've managed to recuperate a good amount of it. All these dips are showing previous drawdowns. If we go to the very beginning, back when I started the account, you can see the first drawdown happened pretty fast, and in fact, when it started trading immediately, I actually went right into a drawdown Then shortly after, I came out of that and the account started doing very well until I hit my next drawdown, which was about 5%. And then I hit another drawdown back in October. In total, I've experienced about 7 to 8 drawdowns since the account has started. But keep in mind, all of these drawdowns never actually reflected into the account. Looking right above that yellow curve that I just shared with you is the balance, and it's represented by a red line. As you can see, there is no dips within side of this until recently, where I actually took my first loss on the account, which was about a 4 to 5% loss, which is not much because I'm still up over 50%, approaching 60% gains on this account. But that was my first loss. And if you look at the red line, you could see a clear dip in its growth chart. This is the first time that the account has actually closed out some of the trades with a loss. For the whole duration of having this account for 7 months, it never actually closed out any of those drawdowns, never reflecting in a deduction of my account balance. Let's scroll down and see how this account has done. Looking at June and July, you could see there was no trade activity, so this is what affected the average. I know you're looking at July and you see 0.63%. That's because the account actually started trading just 2 days in July. So shortly after, August happened, which makes July's performance look small relative to everything else. Popping over to August, we did 8%. Looking at October, we did 9.77%, and all the other months saw a profit as well. If I pop over to 2025, January, we did 11.42% gain on the account, and in February, we did 8.77%. Interestingly enough, this month, we're sitting at negative 2.30%. Like I said, I just experienced a drawdown March 5th, and the drawdown was about 5%, but it's recuperated about half of that, which is why we're sitting at only negative 2.3. I believe that I will actually close the month out positive, but we'll see what happens because there's only about 5 trading days left in this month at the time of making this recording. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys that will really put into perspective how beneficial having a trading software can be for your trading endeavors. I'm going to pull up charts that will illustrate all the trades that were taken, and you'll very quickly realize this amount of trading will not be able to be done by a human. So this is the gold chart, and I just want to show you all of these arrows because they're representing trades that were taken and closed on the behalf of the software without my intervention. Now this is a 4-hour chart. All of these arrows are long positions and short positions. The blues are buys, the reds are sells. So it's taking buys and sells. And if I just scroll along, you can see how many times this thing has traded on my behalf since I started using gold on this software. If I pop over to my history, if we look at the Australian Canadian dollar right now on a 4-hour chart, it looks like complete mayhem. Look at all of these trades that are taken. And when I say mayhem, that's probably an understatement. I couldn't even count how many trades this thing has done. In fact, all these dotted lines are active open positions at the moment, and this is kind of how the software works. And if I just scroll across, you can see all these dotted lines, which represent when the trades were actually closed out. As you can see, this is something that would take loads of time, and it would actually completely shackle you to the computer and eliminate you from working an active job or taking care of your family because this would require extreme attention. Now, when you have a software, it frees you up from having to do that, meanwhile ensuring that you're active in the markets. The question is, do I like the software and will I continue using it? In short, yes. And my reason is because I don't see myself as a business owner of 2 businesses putting effort and time into trying to read all the charts and find trades on a consistent basis. That is one of the hardest things for me to do, and many other people may agree. Not only that, I love the fact that I'm able to pull out a large portion of my emotions with the decision making because I know that it's pretty much automated for the most part. And do I think trading softwares are worth it? Well, my answer varies, and it depends on who I'm speaking to. Of course, none of this is ever financial advice. One thing you have to consider with trading softwares is they are still speculative and they are also alternative vehicles. So anything that's alternative does have an element of risk that you need to consider. Cool thing is you could still adjust the risk and put it to your own likings, but still, it's very different from owning the S&P and hoping it goes up over an extended period of time. If you want to find out more about this trading strategy, down below there's a description for you to click on. And if you just want to find out more of how this account will perform in the future and if I'm ever able to get my ROI back, hit subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.